right. Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome into NFT Live on the Web3 Network. We just had a great morning show over there on the Twitter Spaces, and we're sitting here live on YouTube's on the YouTube's. I don't know how this verbiage got like caught up, but we're calling it the YouTube. So we're excited to have you in. Don R, we see you in chat. OVOT, Gifted. How are you doing, my man? Your connection's a little off, but it's all good. The camera's legit. I like the camera quality. So
The camera's looking good. Oh man, I might have to just restart my router. I haven't restarted my router since I got back from Denver, so I'm wondering if that's the issue here.
that might be it. How did you like the Web3 morning show this morning, guys? We have updates on Mochaverse and Aavegotchi. We just literally just came out over the last 24 hours. We've been talking about Mochaverse. We'll talk about it in a second. But how did you like the morning show this morning? I think that's the last time we'll talk, hopefully, about Ryan Carson's grift.
Oh God, I hope so. Look, it was interesting. It was fascinating. It was multivariate. I don't know. It was great because not only did we cover off on a lot of news, we talked about the ERC 4337 new standard. We talked a little bit about Mochaverse, about Clear Silver, and a bunch of other cool things happening. But we had a really deep and interesting conversation about integrity. What does integrity mean in the Web3 space? Does anybody have it? And then specifically, like what's going on with Ryan Carson and the Daily Dose. Again, it's not something that I am particularly excited to talk about. I never followed him. I wasn't a Daily Doser. You know what I mean? It's like I see it as just another example, as like another grifter that got, it's leaving the space.
Yeah.
But it kept coming up. It just kept coming up. And so I was like, let's rip off the Band-Aid. Let's talk about it and talk about integrity more broadly, contextualizing the conversation around that.
And my man
we had a really good convo.
My man is already on to hosting an AI Spaces on LinkedIn of all places. So yeah, no, it was a good combo. Look, this is what we'll do, Gif. Yeah. Why don't you try to reset the router? I promise you, I can hold it down because okay. I want that sweet video shot. Quality when you come back.
Let's give it a shot.
All right, so I'm gonna do it solo. All right, dude. I'll see you in a sec. Let's see it. All right. I'm gonna do my best to host the Twitter Spaces. So I want your take, Ryan Carson. Just inject. That's it. Just Ryan Carson. Listen. So the two sides of the debate were he was getting flamed, and just got a lot of heat from the Web3 community, and said, "Hey, I don't have much money left, and I'm getting flamed, consistently here. My family is getting threatened, and I can't deal with it. So I want to move on." And I'm passing this over to Zeneca. The Daily Dose is now going to be part of, I believe, the Zen Daily Show, which is a whole nother discussion that we haven't had. But I want y'all's take. Like, are we spending too much time on it? Like, should these things just be kind of, swept under the rug? Maybe are we just like kind of shouting into the void? Because sometimes that's what it feels like when we're sitting up here trying to figure out, like, hey, was this the wrong thing to do? Is he kind of exonerated from all of this stuff? Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Digitide Designs is saying not based. Don R saying RC. Ryan Carson was saying, I don't have much of your money left. Fantastic point. Like that is honestly where I side in this debate, is that he got to a level either financially or reputationally in this space where there was a lot of responsibility. There was a ton of responsibility on his shoulders. It goes back to that Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. And he kind of just said, times got hard, deuces, I'm on to the next. And that's where I fall in this debate. And do we, again, just let this go under the rug and just say, hey, it was an attempt by him to start a company, and, wish him the best as he transitions into AI space, in the AI spaces? Do we just allow that? Does it matter if we don't allow that? But I'm gonna err on the side of, look, we have a smaller community here, even though we have grown over the last, 15 years. It's been what, 6 years, 5 years since I've been in this space. We've grown as an industry, but we're still early, and we still have a very small community that we feel like we need to protect, and that's where I'm siding in this debate. So yeah, tough one. All right, folks, we're still waiting for Gift Dead here as we get NFT Live started. I appreciate you guys joining the combos today. Amazon NFT Marketplace is is the main story for the day. This has been kind of a dirty little secret for about, I would say, 2 months. I think Blockworks was the first one to come out and say, hey, Amazon's got an NFT initiative that they're launching. Of course, Amazon's a huge marketplace, so one can only think that that was going to be some type of marketplace initiative. Well, that's what we got, which we will get into here in just a second. Squash, I see you. He says, hell yeah, just saw Home Depot launched a virtual kids workshop in Roblox as their first step into the metaverse. GQ project launches tomorrow, and Escher doing Freeman via Zora. Send me the GQ project. I'm interested in that one. We've been I think we covered like a Home Depot piece a little while back. But yeah, send me that GQ project. Let's cover Mochaverse while we're still waiting for GIF to get back in here. So Mochaverse is sitting at a 1.499 floor. They had some issues with launch. It was a I guess oversubscribed mint. This is again, it goes back to Animoca Brands' first attempt at kind of launching their own NFT. And we're sitting at a 1.5 floor. I think the mint price was sitting at 0.14. I would need to kind of go back and check. We covered this yesterday. Again, if you could get in, congratulations to you. That looks like a little 10x bagger quickly. This is where, you want to be right, you want to make money. You probably see an increase in the NFT price, maybe not over the short term. Maybe it goes down, 0.5, 0.75 range. This is not investment advice, by the way. Maybe it's super volatile in the short term, but long term, Animoca Brands is going to win. It's that simple. So long term, can I see this at even over like a 5 ETH floor? Of course. It depends on what value they can drop, and Animoca Brands is that company. They have the weight, they have the money, they have the reputation. So that being said, I don't have any Mochaverse. I probably should, but I don't know if I'm buying here at 1.49, even though that might long term be okay. All right, Don is saying, in an attempt to see all sides, I've run a failed startup. It's hard. The thing that made it all okay in the end was a firm dedication to the integrity from the jump to the end. Yeah, we're not going to spend the whole episode talking about Ryan Carson, but again, that comes back to the main point, which I think everyone is kind of upset about, is that it's not just what you're doing, it's kind of how you're doing it. Like the excuses that he gave for getting up out of here were not that. He said he didn't have any money left, even though his fund bought $189 ordinal the other day that I think he's down on. He said, yeah. Anyways, GIF. Oh, there it is. There's the saucy quality. Can you hear me? And do we have your audio?
I can hear you.
There you go. I got you.
Can you hear me? Did you say $100? Did you say $189 ordinal? I don't think that's accurate.
Did I say dollars?
Yeah.
I believe it was 189 ETH worth.
Jeez. So, yeah, but he doesn't have the funding. He doesn't have any money. He just can't keep going. So
yeah, that was a nuanced debate for sure, because what you're getting into is essentially, you're kind of we're kind of getting after him, rightfully so, in my opinion. But again, the other side of that is like, he's starting a company. Well, he's getting a lot of hate from the broader community already. How much do you want to pile on? And my big question, man, is like, how much does it matter that we're even talking about this stuff? That's where my head goes. Like, I'm always going to voice my opinion about how the space is being kind of directed by its leadership. But like, it feels sometimes like we're shouting into the void is the term I'm using. Just talking about how much Ryan Carson sucks and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't know, man. Again, it's not my favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't want to spend a lot of time on it. But
You know what?
it's just frustrating where I come from, seeing this stuff happen over and over, people getting put on pedestals and, position themselves as leaders, or the community positioning themselves as leaders when they don't actually give a shit about the community or the longevity of the space. And really they're just here for the money. And that is what it is. Again, like, does he deserve to be like treated like shit forever on the internet? No. Right? Like, he's an entrepreneur. He's going to move on. He's going to do other things, and that's fine. But to pretend like there isn't some additional context around this of him just kind of hopping from thing to thing that we should all kind of, pay attention to. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, dude. I don't fucking care about Ryan Carson.
All right.
Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
I think that's where we're at. We laid it down. We laid down our thoughts here on the Ryan Carson stuff. I wish him, a healthy life to him and his family. I'll just, we'll stop talking about it. So we do have the CTA here to get to, which is that this is not, I guess that's not even a CTA. It's just disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Nothing we say or do here on the channel you should take and buy into degen projects. Like, don't be us. Okay, don't be us. Don't take our advice and buy any projects or sell any projects. Okay, we just
definitely don't be Q.
Definitely don't do it.
Definitely don't be Nifty Q.
So definitely don't do anything. GIF, while you were away, I pulled up the Mochaverse NFT price. We're just getting back into the swing of things here, but Mochaverse is definitely one. Even yesterday, we were like getting prepped for as that mint was set to go live and seeing what the secondary market did. 1.5 ETH. Are you buying here?
No, definitely not. Will that end up being a mistake?
Yeah.
Who knows? But this would be like my cock punch moment if I just, like, for the lulz went and fucking bought one right now.
That's the same price too.
Yeah.
About the same price. Okay, I'm going to read into a tweet by Mochaverse here on their Twitter thread. Update on the Mocha Mint and Wormhole. Before we get into details, we want to first apologize for all the inconvenience caused, and we certainly feel your pain. We want you to mint more mochas than anyone. New full minting window details happen. So essentially what happened here, folks, was I think the RPC got overloaded because of the amount of people trying to mint at once. That's at least the initial take that I got. Here's the follow-up tweet again by Mochaverse. We will be extending the 0% over allocation window to 24 hours instead of 4. Started from 6 March, yesterday at 5 p.m. to 7 March, 5 p.m. Eastern. Once we've hit the 24 hours, the wormhole will then be activated for the next 12 hours until minting window closes. So I'm pretty sure this is still ongoing then. It's like,
how many are minted? Go back to that collection.
6,741 have been minted.
Yeah, it's still ongoing.
Okay. So unrevealed, they seem to just be passes, but unrevealed, they're still being minted, but being also sold for 1.499.
That's what it looks like. And there's already over almost 2,300 ETH on secondary. So this is definitely a project that's taken off, getting some traction right now, and it's not even minted out yet.
Gotcha. Okay. The other project we've been following and have been partnering with, especially on the event in ETH Denver, shout out to Avagachi. This is 3.8 Ghost with a little ghost emoji. What this probably means is that tomorrow Ghost token will be unbonded. It's been on a bonding curve essentially since its inception.
Snap.
There was a DAO proposal to take Ghost token, the ecosystem token for Avagachi, off the bonding curve, which essentially takes it from an unlimited supply cap to a limited supply cap. For those of you that are into the microeconomics there, you know what happens. Who knows what happens to the price? It's been hovering around $1. I think the most it ever got up to was like $2.50.
It popped after we started talking about it. It fucking popped off. It's up like 50% to like $1.60 or something.
I want to look at this and I want to see. It's okay. $1.60. Gift's not wrong. He's not lying to you. 1 year price. What was the max it ever got to here? 283. Which and again, the complaint over the time period, because it's been a token that's been around a while, 2020, essentially, is that it's never really broken out of this $1 to $3 range in a time where you see tokens, what, 100x
Right, but
and
that
things
was
like
the
this.
point. It
Yep.
wasn't. It was bonded. That was like. It's basically like the analogy that we were using. One of them was like training wheels, right? So they wanted to make sure that they had enough infrastructure and sort of utility and different things built before they kind of just let the market do whatever they want with it, because they came into it with the intention of this being a long term thing, not just a pump and dump, which I actually really appreciate. There's so much short term thinking in this fucking space, dude.
Hmm.
Especially like launching a token. To me, so many of them are just like, let's just fucking go for a ride. Doesn't matter if it pumps and dumps, doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it does long term, because we're all just trying to make a bag and fuck it, just get in and get out. That was never their intention with this. And that's clear to me, is that the way that they set this up was so that it could build and survive long term and create some kind of economy and utility around this token. And now they're taking off the training wheels because they feel confident enough that they've developed enough that like it should do okay, that it shouldn't just dump or die, or that like that it there's enough there, there's substance
Hmm.
behind this. So I'm actually very bullish on it. But again, I'm still learning, definitely not an expert. I did, full transparency, I did buy some over the last week or two. So I've got a small bag, not a lot, but I got a small bag of Ghost. And I'm the more that I learn about Avagachi, the big brains behind that project, everything that they've been doing from a community aspect, from a DAO aspect, from a game aspect, like it makes me feel very bullish. And then I think this is also in confluence with Polygon starting to put a
Yeah.
lot more support behind them. So
Look,
I don't know, man.
we could
I'm
definitely get
bullish.
we could definitely get screwed for having this take. Again, we've already made the disclaimer like 3 times on this show alone. We're just getting back into the swing of things, so we have to get to it. But I mean, we could get screwed for this take, but Avagachi is one that I think, looking back in 2020 vision in 2 years, you're going to be like, holy shit, there were all of these other features that we just mentioned. Polygon was popping off. They have a committed team. They've been doing things with the community where it's a little bit more sustainable. And Ghost Token comes unbonded. Polygon starts to boom. Gaming starts to take off. We're about to talk about Amazon. A project that would do really beneficial things with a project like Amazon is one like Avagachi that's sustainable but hasn't really had the broad support, or like awareness would probably be the better word. They don't have the awareness. One of which happens to be because the Ghost token was not pumping 10x. So you didn't have these people like, what is Ghost? Like, how do I get
And
in?
because they're built on Polygon. And it's like that hasn't Polygon is only just starting to stretch its wings and become more relevant, especially like with regards to NFTs, and communities and
All right, folks, I just
yeah.
dropped in chat the NFT live link for the day. If you guys can go there and give it a good like, a good retweet, that would help us out a ton. Marty McFly, Asmodai, I see you. Donar's asking more news. Did you notice that Elon shut down the free Twitter API? Web2 kills more lives by rugging entrepreneurs. That there's another doc to Elon's Twitter, man. I was extremely bullish because I just didn't like the way that the group, and I hesitate to even say Jack was involved heavily at Twitter at that point, but I didn't like how the last regime was running Twitter. But this is another doc. If all that's true, Elon's just continuing to not follow through on what we might have thought he would bring to Twitter.
I don't know enough about it to really comment. I feel like it's still kind of early. It's still kind of
Yeah,
early to me to really be trying to say is it success or failure. You know what I mean? Like he's gotta move fast. He's gotta break shit. He's gotta make some big changes. This to me is the type of thing that I want to kind of like have a year out. You know what I mean? It's like I want to be a year out from him taking over and see where it's at before I'm like it was good or bad. People are so reactive, right? People
yeah.
are gonna immediately react to anything and pretend like that's the net result. Um, I just don't know enough say if it's
Okay.
good or bad
All right.
right now.
Well, I'll ask you on March 7th, 2024. We'll be sitting here, and I'll
Perfect.
ask you about Elon's Twitter. So just get ready for that.
We'll be
Okay.
here. We will be
If
here.
if you went to, yeah, we will be here. Unlike Ryan Carson. Doo-doo.
Nice
Okay,
callback.
okay. Anyways, all right. If you went to that link, you know what today's topic is about. Today's main topic, at least, is going to be about Amazon NFT Marketplace, what that means, the information we have now. Before we get to that main topic, of course, we got the NFT Go bag check. We're hitting at 35 on the barometer, which is, kind of par for the course over the past, I would say, like 3 or 4 days. It's kind of been holding there. Traders and sellers, a little bit more selling going on than buyers. 30-day profit and loss. People are still in extreme loss, it looks like, or at least the majority of people are. Last 7 days against ETH, we're rising here over the last 2 or 3 days. I feel like DGens from ETH Denver might be getting back into the game, buying a little bit more. Against USD, we saw a significant drop off there to start the month, and then we're kind of crabbing out a little bit. Let's see, market cap and volume. Dude, I always love this chart because we can like see like an acute event. Like, I wonder what that event was. You know what I mean? Like that was a mint, essentially. That was some type of mint or some type of sale. Yeah, some type of like legitimate sale, like a big CryptoPunk got sold, or an ape, or Mochaverse, like you're saying. So,
well, also Clear Silver has been popping off and getting a lot of traction. So I don't know. Maybe it's a couple of things.
Categories staying pretty much the same, of course. And then market cap. Let's go to volume. Over the last 24 hours, BAYC, other deeds, Mochaverse, like we were talking about, is making their entrance. Moonbirds, Owls. I'm getting the Owls FOMO consistently. Momoguru. Momoguru is a collection that has popped off. A lot of people were complaining, Gift, that this would be a dope conversation about the number of traits in a collection. Like, in what is the optimal number of traits? Because Momoguru, I think, went to like some ridiculous amount. I think it was like 16 like traits, essentially. Whereas I think Bored Ape has like 7, 8 trait. No, what am I thinking about? I need to look at that tweet, for example, but I know there was a really cool thread that I saw about like the optimal amount of traits in a collection. Oni Force Doodles and others. Let's go to the last 7 days here. Anything popping out here? Owls, Moonbirds, MG Land.
Owls have dropped quite a bit already from yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to look at that more. Clone X, it seems like, is getting sold off. I saw in my NFT Go Twitter extension some whales were selling Clone X's, so I'm wondering if there's anything happening there.
Yeah, March 6th. So yesterday at a floor price of about 0.3, currently being sold. Yeah, so already kind of a half floor there for Owls. So
Yep.
seems to be par for the course with the way the space is working right now. Marketplaces I'll go to very quickly and take a look. Handy dandy wash trade feature, Blur taking the top spot over the last 24 hours. Let's go out to 7 days. Whew. Traders, OpenSea still having a little bit of a market share there over Blur on the trader side. Here, so I feel like the OpenSea Blur conversation has cooled off. Right around Blur airdrop, it was like massive. OpenSea was coming out with announcements saying we're going to 0% and we're making all these changes, and that has cooled off. But Jimena Buenavida, who is a launch partner with I believe OpenSea's C drops. Jessica Utrowski, one of the community members, obviously, that's been on NFT Live, was on OpenSea and also had a drop that went pretty poorly. Like, I don't even think you can buy her drop, she was saying, on desktop right now. So 2 community members and anecdotes that we have personally, but Jimena came out with a tweet yesterday, and I'm going to try to pull it up, that was basically like, I'm canceling my OpenSea drop. OpenSea, I don't believe in the values that you apparently are talking about standing by. But I'll bring up the tweet in her words. But did you hear about this, and what were your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think I'm the one that pulled it up this morning, right? I haven't spoken with her directly yet, and so I'm reticent to put any more,
Jesus.
spin or words into this. You know what I mean? I think the best thing would be to wait to be able to talk to her. But clearly, she's very unhappy with her experience with OpenSea, and is basically pulling her collection from dropping with them.
Yeah, you failed me today, OpenSea. Your actions have made it clear to me that the ideals of community partnership and collaboration in this industry are often just marketing tools used for the financial benefit of those already in power. Regrettably, I will be canceling my drop for today. For those of you that are already purchased, I will work with you to directly issue a refund. I'm not leaving the space, but I need to take a step back to breathe and reflect. So this, I mean, this is a that's a strongly worded fucking Twitter thread, rightfully so. I mean, she's been pushing this drop for a little while. To fuck with like a collector's drop like this and have it be then canceled hurts financially, emotionally, and in really, if you think about it, like OpenSea's advantage over Blur for the longest time, if they actually like turn their brain on and believe these things, like has been that they've been around longer than Blur, and so in that time they should have the community sentiment on their side, and so I feel like in an effort to show their community values, to Jimena's point, they launched OpenSea drops instead of kind of like working about it this whole time, and now you're basically seeing them failing at this for the community. So it's actually having the reverse effect of what they want, which is okay, Blur's beating us on the trader front. Let's be the artist, the collector, the community's platform, and they're failing at that too.
I mean, if you read that tweet, that's what it seems like, right? But and then again, I think you were adding in the additional data point that our good friend Jess, who's very close to minting out XX Gen. If you haven't mentioned an XX Gen, go do it on your mobile device.
Yeah.
Support these amazing women, during International Women or Women's History Month. Tomorrow, by the way, real quick side tangent. Tomorrow is International Women's Day, and so we are letting the women take over GM Web 3. And we'll see if maybe we can even get somebody to join us here on NFT Live. But at least tomorrow morning, GM Web 3 is dedicated to our amazing friends who are women. But yeah, I mean, given the way that Jess's drop has been going and this tweet from Jimena, it definitely seems like there's some issues. Like it's not going as well as it probably should or could.
We're going to talk about Amazon here in a second. I don't necessarily think short term they're a competitor to Blur and
Will
OpenSea.
Amazon buy OpenSea?
There's that
That's
might
honestly.
that might be something OpenSea might want to look into. They're clearly on multiple fronts getting
Hammered.
outgunned, just outthought, outmaneuvered in every way. Okay, I've got some comments here in chat. Marty, what's going on, brother? You should be talking about wrapped CryptoPunks trading on Blur and they coming for your ass. Never drool fade, drool Yuga drool. Okay, we hit on 12-fold yesterday. We were asked in chat what we thought the kind of average price that they were going to go for. I think my guess was 2. Did you throw out a guess? 2 BTC, I think was my guess.
Not really. I was trying to get it out of you, and then I kind of agreed. I felt like seeing them go for less than 1 Bitcoin was unlikely, and I felt like 2 was a reasonable guess.
So I'm going to get what they raised in total. Yuga raised in total, but the top bid 7.1 BTC came through. You saw another 7, 4, 3, but the majority, I think, if you want to take an average, it was probably in that high 2 range. Let's see what the lowest bid was. Yep, 2.2. So about 2.6. I mean, if you want to add in the 7 ETH bid, it probably takes that obviously a little bit higher. But yeah, the average bid was probably around 2.5 BTC or like 40, maybe 60K.
It's more like, it's closer to like 50, 45, 50.
Something in that range.
Yeah. I mean,
735 BTC.
Yeah, over 16 mil in 24 hours. I mean, look, it how do you not call this a massive success for them?
Marty's rolling his eyes. How do
Of
you
course
not?
he is.
How do you not?
How do you
700.
not call that a giant success for them?
Yeah, they don't
I
even have to
mean,
sell all that. By the way, they could literally like BTC. Locally right now is kind of pretty volatile, and we probably saw some pain. But I mean, that amount at fucking 60K BTC in the next cycle.
oh my gosh, bro. Holy heck. It's wild. It's wild, man. And you know what? What's our saying? Never fade Yuga.
A drool.
Drool drool. It so far it hasn't been wrong, you know. And let's look at it contextually. Like, what does this mean for us as Bored Apes? Real quick, we won't turn this fully into the
The
Yuga
Yuga
show,
Show.
but what does it mean to have this the first ever crypto native conglomerate, now expanding into other chains, into other products outside of the Ethereum ecosystem, outside of the Bored Ape ecosystem, successfully? It seems positive. Seems
Yeah.
like a good thing. Seems like Yuga Labs has even more legs to stand on. So
I mean, legs. They have more bags. They just got 735 at today's prices. It looks like $16.5 million into the treasury for Yuga Labs. What can they do with that? Is again up to them. I think it was an interesting move to like capitalize on this ordinals hype, this BTC hype. I think having an art focused drop is pretty sick too. Everybody's talking
that
about like,
too, the art focus part of it is interesting.
yeah, it adds to like what you would assume. And I hate overusing the term ecosystem, but now you have multiple steps that Yuga's taken, right? You got the gaming side with other side. You got 12 fold now that's done an ordinals drop. So it's kind of
It gives
proliferating what they're doing.
Yeah, but it also gives them more cachet in the larger sort of NFT art collector world to me, because you can shit on apes and you can shit on PFPs all you want, but hey, this is not that. This is generative, high quality, limited edition art collectibles, you know.
Squashman is saying enticed gamers with sewer passes, Bitcoin heads with ordinals, brought in the 10K TF community by acquiring the IP. That expansion is what a lot of projects need to keep in mind. What's going on with Meebits, man? They acquired Meebits. Come on, man.
Solid Q. Solid Q. I don't know.
Marty McFly saying you like art by company or art by artist? Who did? Do we know who actually created these?
That's a good question. I don't. Somebody enlighten me. I am more of a fan when the artist is part of the collection, but who knows? Maybe this is just art by company.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking it up right now. Actually,
But also, like, we don't necessarily know the artists of the Bored Apes, and they've done a great job with that. So it's like I don't know that it matters that much, as long as it's good quality, and is executed as well as it is. But it would be cool to know if there was a specific artist that they partnered with. You're muted, by the way.
I'm trying to. Yeah, my dog's barking. I'm trying to look that up now. Some notes on 12 fold. There's like some videos showing like the creation, but yeah,
There we go.
yeah, I don't know. Schmiggy, M Figgy on Twitter.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Crypto Garger revealed who the artist behind Yuga Labs 12-fold project is. Their name rhymes with Schmiggy. Seems to be this man. Here, I'll drop that in chat.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna go follow this person right now. That's pretty dope. There you go. So if you're trying to criticize them like they're not partnering with legit artists, there you go.
Yeah, shout out to the neon background too. Obviously, the coolest Bored Apes have the neon background. If you're not familiar with anybody rocking neon backgrounds, this is just another notch in our belt here for Schmiggy Figgy.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of the light blue, but totally biased.
M Figgy is the in-house artist, and the thread breaks down the thought process. That's it, Q. Appreciate it. But they downplayed it, and that's weird since it's generative, which is also not. It's cinematic 4D. They downplayed the artist? Like they didn't really highlight the artist? Is that what we're talking about?
I mean, I haven't spent much time paying attention to it, so I don't know how much they did or didn't, but I mean, we just figured it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
Cam Taylor. So we're getting into Amazon right now. When this gold rush is over, there's going to be massive bags held. It makes sense for them to make as much as they can, not financial advice.
I think, look, regardless of whether you like it or not, whether you like the art, I see it as like another just super fucking smart move from a business perspective. Like, I don't know, man. Their execution is fucking next level, bro. I am here for it. I see it. I see it as a big fucking win.
Sounds like you're saying never fade Yuga. If they had launched this on Ethereum, would it have been as successful?
No. What do you mean? No, not at all. It wouldn't have even. It's not. The only reason this project exists is because of the ordinals hype right now, because this is a new thing that they wanted to capitalize on and be part of. That's the only reason this project even exists, I think.
I would love to get a cross section, even though it's probably impossible to kind of tie the two together, if these were apes and people already in Yuga, or did we actually bring in new individuals into the community there? So
I'm sure it's a mix. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are not ape holders that are just Bitcoin, have massive Bitcoin bags.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Biggest story of the day, Amazon NFT marketplace. Before we get started, leave a like on today's video. We're still recovering. I see the light at the end of the tunnel here after ETH Denver, but there's still some pain behind my eyes here. I'm still kind of struggling on sleep. So we want to get these episodes out to you, but just know it might be an abbreviated episode again. Cam Taylor saying for Yuga, yes. Sure. For Yuga, yes. In the end, for their community, we'll see. Marty McFly saying most hyped Yuga thing people talking about, yet not advertising the artist much. It's good to make money, but they are Jesus. But they are Jesus.
You know what? The day that hell freezes over is going to be the day that Marty McFly says anything nice about Yuga or Bored Apes. I can't wait for the one day when Marty actually says something nice about what they're doing.
Yo, to be fair, it keeps me on my toes though, because it keeps me on my toes with like explaining the actual value prop in narrative and things like that. If we just had a full little Bored Ape ecosystem here, I'd just be like, wait, what do you mean?
It wouldn't be nearly as fun to not have some people who are on both sides of the fence, because otherwise, we'd just probably sit up here being toxically positive all the time about everything Yuga does, because we don't have brains of our own and we never are able to critically think about these things. That's just how that works. But no, it's fun having the rocks thrown at us that we have to deflect, and explain around. But I honestly cannot wait for the day that Marty actually finds himself compelled to say something nice. I'm not going to hold my breath though, Marty.
Quantum Variant's in house. What's up, Quantum Variant? Our vibe, our tribe. Did you see Codas flip mutants? That was bound to happen, right? What's the supply? What's the supply?
Wait, Codas flipped what?
Mutants.
Oh, they flipped mutants? Holy shit!
I feel like
that's wild.
Yeah. As we get closer to other Ds, that probably gets outsized, dude. Having a Coda is seen as like a premium, even within that ecosystem. Hold on, let me check. I got to go to other deeds. God, I got to filter by Coda. First world problems. Yeah, I'll figure that out. I would like to say, like, what is the supply here for Codas at current rate? Anyways, Amazon NFT initiative coming soon, exclusive. So this came from Blockworks.co. Shout out to Blockworks who wrote this article on January 26th. So now it's been a full month and a half. We finally are getting more information on what's happening. This again, we're kind of jumping around here, but the big whale is saying Amazon and NFT marketplace to launch its platform on April 24th. So we still have about another month and a half to go here. But probably the biggest story to hit NFTs in a long time. I'm trying to figure out, what is like the larger story that would kind of rival this, but Amazon is going to have a dedicated portion of their website for NFTs, specifically along the phygital lines. I'll say that just because a lot of articles are saying that, not
digital
because
and gaming.
So, digiphysical, digital, whatever you say, they're targeting that. Obviously, Amazon is mainly a marketplace for physical products. I'm sure over the course of the last few years, they've been, doing more digital products, Amazon Prime Video, for example, and things like this, but it's mainly physical products. So I think this is a really cool opportunity to see what an environment looks like for physical products and digiphysical products. And then also Amazon owns Twitch. Amazon owns Twitch Prime. These are things that are going to be amazing for the proliferation of the NFT gaming space. So, I mean, being able to, for example, again, buy an Illuvium Illuvitar on Amazon and have that show up in game, it's going to look so obvious probably a year from now, but this is massive for the gaming space. Do I think traditional gamers that are on Twitch are going to find this awesome? No. Do I think the products are going to look really dope being shown on an NFT marketplace on Amazon? Yes. So I'm excited, man. We can dive in. We'll get into some of the other articles, and I want to hear y'all's comments as well.
I mean,
are you ready to?
I think it's interesting. Happening? Well, I think it's interesting. Like you're talking about, like what are some other big headlines that might rival this? The only other recent one that I feel like specifically to like NFTs and like, Web3 blockchain that has been pretty big lately is the Coinbase base announcement that we're covering. That's a pretty big deal. Them launching their own chain, etc. It was very interesting. Again, the fact that they launched with an NFT, not on Coinbase NFT. But that's beside the point. This is, what is part of the point that you kept bringing up is that, we got very excited about Coinbase and the potential for Coinbase to onboard a lot more people if it's done well, but the execution wasn't there. There seems to be a lot of differences here with Amazon. And one of those being they have a track record of execution that is incredible. And Andy James, shout out Andy James, did a really, really good job of articulating how impressive the execution at Amazon has been through the history of their business and how they've become one of the biggest companies in the world and really, one of the most successful marketplaces that's ever existed. So I am, again, while trying to stay cautious, I'm also optimistic that this is absolutely the kind of shit that can onboard so many more people. Mm-hmm. And we've said that before, which is why, again, that's why I led with the cautiously optimistic part. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We don't want to, pretend like this is absolutely going to like solve all of the mainstreaming issues and onboarding. There's going to be a million different problems that probably come out of this that we can't even foresee. However, it is hard to overstate the potential for this to bring in so many more use cases, so many more opportunities, so many more touch points, so many more reasons for people to be participating in the ecosystem, and a lot more volume on chain. Because holy heck, like the scale of volume of transactions of sales that Amazon is processing every single day. Again, I think I'm probably getting this wrong, but I think Q in Denver, what we heard from one of our partners there was that in just 1 year, they did like 400 million DLCs, like through Twitch Prime, like downloadable products, skins, all that type of shit. I think it was like 400 million in just 1 year. And that's, again, just through Twitch Prime as a DLC, like one product. Not even getting into the like physical products and like the Amazon marketplace. all the jeans that you can now get an NFT receipt for. Um, but look, we all know that like the utilities of NFTs are vast, and one of them is absolutely being a proof of purchase, being a
Mhm.
receipt, being, you know, a collectible item, a bag, a cool bag that your jeans go in. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like,
No, I love the take. I do want to get to some of these comments as well. Quantum Variance asking, so will artists be able to sell physicals and NFTs on Amazon? Asmodai is asking, considering the number of fake and scam products on Amazon Marketplace just now, what confidence do you have in their ability to launch an NFT marketplace? So I'll answer the first one. GIF, if you want to hop in as well. They're rolling out this product for a like it's like almost like white glove, I believe, and they're rolling it out for 15 products. Like this isn't like a hey, our NFT marketplace is wide open. You know, you could use that. What they're doing is curating projects that they're working with initially. Again, I think long term it's going to be, you know, rolled out more and
this is a
more.
beta test.
Yeah.
And it's going to be heavily curated, white glove to your point. It's not just going to be some open marketplace starting out. I think the goal would be to get it to a point that they have the user interface and the systems and the processes all there that they can scale it up to
Yeah.
being some kind of open marketplace or platform like they have with their Amazon, you know, seller. Like, what
Yeah.
are they? It's like that, but that's what they do, right? And that was, again, Andy James did a great job of talking about what they do. They are trying to create marketplaces at scale, but the way that they get there, they're going to be very strategic, right? So they're not just going to rush out with an open marketplace, but the goal is to get to pretty large scale
Yeah.
with anything they do.
With the curation process too, because people, you know, who buy Amazon Prime expect their goods in a certain amount of time. Amazon is not eBay. You know, this isn't going to look like eBay where you're just like, hey, I'm going to put up, you know, my marketplace here on Amazon and we're just going to ship from our house. Like you almost like most likely will have to have the product be in Amazon's custody. If you're going to launch your product on Amazon, you need it to be in Amazon's custody in order for them to fulfill whatever they're trying to fulfill on the physical product side. So that's probably, again, why they're only rolling it out to 15. They could roll it out to 200, but then they'll start getting some shipping and handling and product issues on that side. So yeah, we're breaking it down. There's
Yeah.
what's up?
No, I think you're right. I'm just thinking about it. But I think one of the interesting terms that I saw in one of these articles we were reading this morning is people calling it a quote unquote very walled garden. They're gonna have a lot of control around what they're doing here, and the interoperability question I think is a big one. But I think you had an interesting point there, and that's that a lot of their partners require them to be interoperable, right? So it's like they're gonna have to be integrated into the larger ecosystem somehow. Remains to be seen how, but even if they create their own chain that is a walled garden, and they have custodial wallets and all that type of shit, it does seem like they're going to have some on ramps and off ramps, and that's probably part of the point. Because also, again, I'm shouting out Andy James a lot, but he really went in on this and I think had a lot of good points. One of the other things that apparently has been a big focus for Amazon is solving the cost of capital at scale. Like the problem of moving capital, raising capital, moving capital it's very expensive to do. That was the big point that Annie was making. And apparently this is something Amazon's been looking at for a long time. And so what's the point? All of this, like if this is their way to get into crypto, into decentralized finance, into crypto wallets, setting up crypto wallets and digital wallets and getting interoperably, established into this ecosystem of crypto, like this could be a fucking massive thing. And I again,
Yeah.
it's super easy to get caught up in the what ifs and like get super carried away with the potential because there's so much potential here. But if they execute this well, this absolutely has the potential at least to be a big turning point for the space, because
Yeah.
It's just it's one of the biggest. It's like the biggest marketplace in the world, dude.
There's
Like
it feel
it's huge.
it feels like two separate conversations we're having. One about Amazon itself, and then of course the a company that they own, Twitch, right? Who's mostly going to be around digital products. They're like Twitch isn't a marketplace where people are buying a ton of physical product. They're
Well, so
essentially
exactly, they're going to be hitting both digital and physical
exactly
at
digital
scale.
physical. Yeah. I'm gonna read this real quick. Quantum Variant's also saying, also imagine all the money they will save just in transaction fees to credit cards. And then he's also saying you
Exactly.
don't have to
Yeah.
warehouse with Amazon to sell on Amazon. My son does it. My uh maybe that's because it's like a certain amount of volume that you need, but my interpretation is that most all things go through the Amazon warehouse. Like it's not an eBay-esque scenario where I'm going to UPS
Not all
and
of them, but
yeah.
there's different streamlining and perks that come with that. But no, like I order stuff off Amazon that doesn't always come from an Amazon warehouse, so
Yeah.
it's not required. I think
Yeah.
it's just
My
yeah, it's
sources
just
say yeah that there's for these partners you're going to need to be having the product with them so that they can have that.
well again when they're just starting out and they're trying to heavily like curate and like regulate it and make sure that it's like executed a certain way. Like this is again the point of a beta test is to collect data. That's what all this is right now. They need to collect data on what's working, what's not, so that they can iterate and figure out how do they scale. So they need to be able to control that,
Yeah,
right? Otherwise the data is not good. It's literally like a control in an experiment. They have to have that. Otherwise they don't have good data to rely on to help them iterate and scale. So this is a beta test.
okay.
That's what it
So
is.
so information we're getting again is more along the lines of like Amazon needing to have a good control of this, but also Cam Taylor saying there's fulfillment, but they're fulfilled by the merchant, and then Don R is also saying Amazon doesn't need to handle product as well. So some information there. Jumping in to back to one of the articles. This is on Yahoo Finance. NFTs linked to physical goods delivered to doorsteps. After the initiative is launched, Amazon shoppers will be able to purchase fashion-oriented. It's interesting that they went that route. Fashion-oriented NFTs that are linked to physical clothing, such as jeans, trainers, and sweatshirts, according to reports. These NFTs will be delivered to the customer's NFT account, while the physical piece of clothing is being delivered to the customer's doorsteps. So again, getting back into that combo, it's like that is the physical product. I'm more looking at this from the digital asset side and what the Twitch implementation will be. It could be another year before Twitch starts to get involved. We don't know. This is just literally saying physical goods, digital, whatever you want to call them. It
Oh,
doesn't say anything about Twitch.
I expect that they're gonna run some big tests this year. Like again, whether or not they roll out like a full product into the Twitch, ecosystem and Twitch platform and all that shit, I don't know. But I bet that they will have some really big experiments, some big tests, like big airdrops or like, some kind of activation. Like I 1,000% expect them to do several things. And then especially when you get to holidays, they're gonna try some shit there. But yeah, like will we get to any sort of like full blown product, integration this year? I don't know.
Yeah. Mar- Marty saying, can't wait to buy my Snoop Dogg up joggers on Amazon. So Web3. That is the interesting spot we find ourselves in. We're not going to
Web
get down a
2.5.
rabbit hole. Yeah, we're not going to get ourselves down a rabbit hole. I'm gonna look at this again from the Web3 side in order to get people to feel comfortable about the space that we're in. To get game, look, you need to have games. Like I'm a big multiplayer, gamer. I don't really like spend my time playing like RPGs that I'm like a Skyrim where I'm in there by myself, kind of enjoying it. I like it, but in order to get games at the multiplayer level mass adopted, it's not gonna happen the way it is currently set up. I'm sorry, like it's just not. So having the ability to buy these digital assets in this environment for gamers to get comfortable with, that's going to be the way. Like full stop. So as much as it does, like I wish that everyone had this idea that, oh, we're all playing Web3 games and all these features are set and doesn't have to go through Amazon. It has to, or else it's going to be another 15 years before we have the amount of people natively in the space to take up a full game, like we like to see it in like a Rocket League, League of Legends, World of Warcraft. If you put it on Amazon, you actually get some proliferation, and then maybe we can move them down the funnel. So, yeah.
Well, and Quantum Variant, I think, is agreeing with that, and that Amazon can lead a lot of other brands directly into Web3. And yeah, man, it's just like because of their partnerships being the biggest marketplace, like it's yeah. This is again, it's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to stop myself a million different times from getting lost into the like positive potential of like what this can do. Because again, until you see it happen, you know, we don't want to like Coinbase ourselves over here and think that like it's going to be the thing that like changes everything and makes all this go mainstream. It just has tremendous potential.
There's an interesting anecdote here. When I was in ICOs and I was at ICO Alert, there was a company that started a product that was kind of a gaming and gambling product, but they wanted to say super decentralization heavy. Like they wanted everything to be on chain. It ended up being a super bad like user experience. Think about on chain in 2017 on ETH, like not good like user interface, even less than today. You have to make the decision of like, do you want to have like usable products that people are interested in and have users, or do you want to stay along that maxi timeline, fulfill your ideals and not have anyone be here or use your product? At the
Yeah.
end of the day, even if you ask Kieran Warwick from Illuvium, I guarantee he loves this. He's building one of the best Web3 games in the whole fucking space. Guaranteed he loves this move.
Yeah. I think look, for most of us who are here because we believe in the technology and wanting to see it succeed, then you understand that Web 2.5 is the way towards mass adoption, and so you're a fan of this type of thing, even if it isn't fully decentralized or it doesn't meet all of your hardcore Web3 values. That kind of isn't the point of this. The point of this isn't about the decentralization maxis or any of that. The point of this is about new use cases, new users, new liquidity, all of that type of stuff, right? So yeah, man, I don't know. I'm excited for this type of shit. I also wouldn't be surprised. I think we kind of said this. I wouldn't be surprised to see Amazon making Web3 acquisitions as they sort of like test and build out their own capabilities and start to understand like where are their weak spots or where are the interesting places for them to be investing that makes sense with what they're trying to do. I wouldn't be surprised to start to see some acquisitions.
Okay. I can get behind that. We talked about M&As a bunch on the channel, so I could, how I feel about that. Okay, last topic for me, Gif. If you have anything you want to touch on, please let me know. We could cover it again,
Well,
guys. We'll
let
probably
me give one quick example on that.
okay.
Like I think a scalable metaverse solution like an on cyber where you could display your NFTs, your products, and all those types of things. That to me would make total sense for them to integrate.
And have that be okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wild.
it's just it's like part of the whole Amazon experience. Is you go there, you've got your own fucking apartment in the metaverse where you've got your fucking jeans hung. You know what I mean? And you can see your art there, and
The
it's like
emphasis
your
on jeans is
shoes or
high here.
it's fucking funny that that's the thing that got called out in all these articles. But you know what I mean? Like that's just one example that like as far as making the marketplace more interactive and dynamic, totally makes sense to me. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway.
No, I agree. There's a lot of different things that they could be looking for in the Web3 space from an acquisition perspective. OpenSea being one. I mean, dude, like that sounds wild, but it's really not at the state of where OpenSea is. To,
No.
to, to be saying that like 3 months ago, if you asked me that, I wouldn't. I would have been like, potentially not. Like OpenSea is going to be okay, but the amount of market share they've lost at this point, I wonder if they're not ready to just be like, we need help.
Well, and OpenSea already fills the role as kind of being the Amazon of NFTs, right? So it's like, to me, it makes a ton of sense for Amazon to purchase and integrate them into everything that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
Don R saying Jeff Bezos started Amazon in a garage down the street from me. He's no longer interested in the company. It's not the same. The head has been cut off. It does feel like they're just like proliferating, right? And like starting these like silos in each of these sectors, whether that be gaming, whether that be Prime Video, whether that there's it just
They all go back to the main business, which is creating marketplaces, right? And that's, again, shout out Andy James. That's their business, is creating large marketplaces. And so I don't know.
Okay.
Man. Let's not keep talking about this.
Yeah.
I'm dying right now.
100%. I'm dying as well. So we're gonna cover this real quick. All right, you might be asking, what the hell did I just watch? And that is Illuvium launching essentially what are their collectible cards for a potential collectible card game. I'm going to share my screen one more time so we can look at the details. This is happening today, by the way. I believe it's at 6 p.m. Eastern. Illuvatars are configurable collectibles with near endless possibilities. Complete collections to gain access to private betas, exclusive merch and events. The Genesis set consists of 150 unique alluvials and is released in waves, available for an extremely limited time. You can see what the collections look like there. So you essentially have like almost PFP based, what looks like characters. It's, again, card games that you can then equip with accessories. Currently, right now, discs are being sold on the Illuvidex. You can see the cost there. So $8 for one random Illuvitar, 3 accessories, and then you can go all the way up to a mega disc, which is one random Illuvitar, 3 accessories, and a guaranteed rare Illuvitar as well. So
do we know the supply?
It's pretty high. It's pretty damn high.
That's what I was guessing.
Yeah.
Like, it seems really cool, but like, do I want like a 1 of 1 million? Or whatever this is going to be.
Yeah. Collectible card games are interesting, man, because supply is usually really high. Like if you think about the amount of cards in a Hearthstone, for example, the commons are just like, I wouldn't even know what that supply is like, but you have the ability to customize and get more non-fungible if you want. You want to go down that rabbit hole. I would love to find the supply. I think I need to go to the Illuvidex here. So if I go to Illuvidex, Illuvium Beyond, discs, no, we're back to the same spot. So this is 120,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So again, this is on IMX as well. I believe they're being sold with ETH on the IMX blockchain. The Illuvitar's Wave 1 Alpha Run sale features exclusive limited edition alpha versions of Wave 1 disc.
What's your play? So you've always been the one that's more into the Illuvium world than I am. So what's your play on this?
If I was actively in Illuvium, I would be trying to get like an extremely rare Illuvitars. Because again, you think about Illuvium, they're essentially trying to be Pokemon in Web3. Mm-hmm. What you're looking for is like those early Charizard cards, right? Like that's you're taking your risk here at 0.124 ETH to potentially get a rare Illuvitar and hold that when Illuvium becomes, a larger brand that is this Web3 version of Pokemon. So.
So are you getting any, or are you just saying that that's what you would do, but you're not?
I'm not buying any of these right now just because I'm not in Illuvium right now. Like I have a sizable bag of Illuvium that's being staked, but I'm not like actively participating in that ecosystem on a day-to-day basis. So just want to kind of keep you guys updated on what's happening. A lot of these discs have been like given away as well. So you can see 100,000 discs. They set some for marketing. I don't think any mega discs were given away at that. So yeah, just want to keep y'all updated. I think we should have somebody like if we could get Kieran on the channel to give us an update on where Illuvium's at and what they've all got going on. It's definitely complex enough now where you've got land ownership that is producing SILV. You've got the potential game coming out here. Now you have a collectible card game. You see where I'm going with this, which is just like there's a lot going on. We've gotten to that point.
The chasm is being crossed as we speak.
Yeah. So I'll look, guys, at home. If you're interested in Illuvium, I'll drop the stuff that we just covered. There's also an FAQ section as well. There's a buyer's guide. I'll get you guys that. And I will try to get Kieran onto the network as well to kind of come down and break down what we've got going on. I think, again, Amazon news coming out might be a potential for like a lot of Web3 games to be in that initial project launch or the secondary wave. We'll see where Illuvium falls on that.
It feels like we're getting close on like just on like NFT Web3 gaming. I feel like we're getting close to where there's a couple solid games out there that might be good enough and interesting and sticky enough to get some traction, but also again then having the actual user base available, having the infrastructure to support it. I don't know if we're there yet, but I feel like we're getting close. Like the more that we're seeing these developments happen, whether it's Amazon or some of the actual games looking pretty cool. So I don't know, I'm excited because I do think this year we will see a lot of traction starting to get built, starting to happen. I don't know if we'll see like our big hit. I don't know if we'll get the big hit yet this year, but I feel like if not this year, then I feel like next year is the year.
I'm waiting on that second trip, right? A lot of us are looking at other side and being like, hey, that's possibly like Illuvium is not that. Like they've got a lot. They're much like Avagachi in the sense they have this really strong core community, but other side is that flagship. That's like, is this gonna work?
Well, from the MMORPG type.
Well, just at scale. Yeah, like you got 10,000 people in a place at once for a lot of this stuff. Like you're that's a lot more than what we see. And there is a take that I've seen where like the macro environment's going to continue to be poor. We're not going to get a bull run and all that stuff. But dude, we got two great NFT marketplace announcements, or I don't want to say an NFT marketplace on the Coinbase base side, but now you got Amazon and Coinbase coming out with their protocols. Like that sounds like a good summer to me. You get an April 24th launch for Amazon. You get Coinbase Base coming out. Sounds like there's some bullishness there. So I know that the macro market doesn't always look that nice, but we can see some bullish things happening during the summer. So, all right, Donar saying, please hit the like for these two tired men who showed up anyways, still giving us the OVOT family fun. Thank you, Q and Gift Dead. I think we probably got one more. We probably got one more day, right, before we feel maybe 1 or 2 more days before we feel like
I don't know,
fully
man.
recovered.
Yeah, I got to kick this cold. We'll see. I just got to sleep. Just got to sleep more. But had some great shows either way. This morning was good. Enjoying it.
Absolutely, man. All right. Any last takes or what we're doing this week before we pop up out of here? Thank you guys for tuning in today to NFT Live. We will be back tomorrow. A lot of good things coming from the Web3 network, man. We've got some content, things behind the scenes. Speakeasy is going live tomorrow or Thursday, but we have some good plans with Kane and Easy as we return from Eat Denver and get those off the ground. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, man. Our vibe, our tribe. Lots happening. Lots happening. We did talk about the new standard. Maybe we can get into that a little bit more. The new ERC standard. yeah, I don't know, man. Lots of good stuff to talk about. I just appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Q.
Yo, Iluvatar is minting today for those of you that are interested in that. So definitely check out that tweet. I appreciate you as well, Gif. We will get into EIP for is that what it is? 4844? Is that the one we talked about?
No, I think 4337. I actually don't know what 4844 is, if that's like another one that's coming.
Yeah.
Seems like, look, it seems like a lot more potential use cases and utilities starting to be developed and launched, which is, again, I think it's bullish. I think it's optimistic.
And we will be here covering that every single day for y'all. Again, appreciate it. Our vibe, our tribe. See you tomorrow with Ronan the Collector. Check out the GM Web3 Morning Show tomorrow as well. It's going to be women led on what's the official day? Is it officially International Women's Day?
So, yes, tomorrow is officially International Women's Day. So we will have some of our amazing women community members taking over the GM Web3 show on Twitter. But it is also Women's History Month. So just something to be aware of and for us to remember and make sure that we do what we can to highlight awesome women.
Hell yeah. Okay. Santino saying OVOT, Quantum Variant saying get some electrolytes, boys. That's what we're doing right now. We're peacing out. Thank you guys so much. See you tomorrow.